Can I tell you something? I want to share something. I want everybody to listen to me because this is why you came. What I'm going to share with you, you'll never get out of a book. Ever. This is so huge. Those of you who grow strawberries know that they're labor intensive because you see they send out these runners. See here? And over time your bed gets very dense. And the challenge is the plants you want to keep are on the top and the old ones that aren't producing are underneath. And you got to thin them out. So I'm out here doing this one day and I says, now God, you said your yoke is easy, your burden's light. This isn't. How would you approach this? God says, just cover it. Every fall, bury the entire strawberry bed with wood chips. Just cover it. And here's the genius of God. Under the wood chips, anyway, your strawberry bed in the winter is ugly to look at. It's all brown. It's not attractive. So under the wood chips, you're not looking ugly. You can walk on it and look in the air. Here's the genius. Under the wood chips, all those leaves become fertilizer to feed the plants. And here is the genius of God I so love. In spring, totally staggered, non-crowded, the young shoots push through. All the old ones you'd be thinning because they're too weak to push through the wood chips, die and become fertilizer. And look at this bed. Those are all young plants. There's not an old one in there. All of them produce well and I have no weeds, no place to never water. Now, he's my friend. I want you to walk across my wood chips full weight. Full weight. And I want you to look behind him at the plants. They weren't smashed. Because the ground underneath is porous, gives cushion, and nothing's just broke. So you can walk here all the time, pick your berries, don't worry about... Are you getting how awesome? And look, not a weed in the place, I never watered. Can it be simpler, easier? It's so, just covered. It's huge.
Do you have strawberries down in Squim?
Yeah, the same one.
Same thing?
Same thing, yeah.
Can I ask, is there a certain type of wood chip that you prefer? Or?
I love them all, and let me tell you something about the stuff they tell you in school, they're all lies. They tell you you can't use pine, you can't use cedar, you can't use walnut. Walnut will kill everything. What? You know, God's so cool. I mean, my dad really loves me. What he did for me to help me get how stupid the thing to tell you, he had a tree service bring me an entire truckload of walnut wood chips. We're talking nothing but walnut. They took a big walnut tree down. Somehow a walnut went through the chipper, didn't break. We're talking like this time of year, August. We have a 4.5-foot raised bed of wood chips, 10-yard load. At the top of this raised bed, with no irrigation, this walnut sprouted and starts growing. And I'm going there every 2 weeks to mow the grass, and I'm watching this every 2 weeks getting bigger and greener. And I said, okay, God, you got my attention. I'm getting it. This is impossible. This is not raining. No one's irrigating. This is an entire 4.5-foot raised bed of walnut wood chips that this thing is bright green, thriving in. And I got it. And here's what I want to tell you. Listen to me. The Creator takes nothing off the planet and removes it. Everything He's created, including cedar, walnut, pine, lays on the ground, composts, and builds the soil where everything is totally gorgeous and green.
Even the furs?
The furs are awesome.
Yeah,
this is mostly fur.
They don't use fur.
This is all fur here under your feet. Let me just tell you how powerful fur works. Is anybody growing thyme? Thyme is an herb in your garden. Thyme. Anybody?
Yes,
No one grows thyme? Where are you?
behind you. I can't hear.
Look at my thyme and tell me how this compares to yours.
There's no comparison.
Yours is all funky, brown, looking terrible. Now, I want you to take a small piece and eat. I know how things grow in dirt. A small piece, because you're going to freak out at how powerful this is. And I want you to experience the power of minerals. Look at her. Watch her. She's going to flip out.
Oh my goodness.
It's potent. This is so strong.
Which plant was she eating?
Because of the mineral content.
Which plant was she eating?
Now, to get that off, go over there and get some lemon balm.
Okay. I'm running.
Run over that green plant over there is lemon balm. Let me, for you scientists, for you people who who are sure that science has figured this out well, let me show something that's going to blow your scientific mind. You see this sage over here? No, this is sage right here. This with the blue flower. Anyone who knows sage is a desert plant. It grows in deserts with no water. Okay, aren't those good blueberries? This is sage. You see how nice it's doing here? Sage wants absolutely no water. It grows in deserts. You see in front of my blueberries over there where those people are picking? There's a ground cover. That is wasabi. Nobody is growing wasabi.
Yeah.
It's impossible to grow. Because it only grows in nature, in standing water, in full shade, and commercial growers get anywhere from $90 to $120 a pound for the roots because they're growing under black cover hydroponically. That is wasabi, growing in wood chips, in full sun, with no irrigation, growing right next to the sun. Are you connecting the dots? Here I have the extremes of water requirements. One wants none, wants to be standing in it, to thriving in the same place but not watering. He is so genius. He created his landscape in such a way that no matter what's growing there, it can thrive because it covers all the bases. There's nothing lacking. You see those blueberries back there, everyone knows they're an acid-loving plant. And if you see my cucumbers here in the ground in front of them, everyone knows they're alkaline. And you see they're both thriving in the same place. So the acid-alkaline isn't an issue. There's no issues in the cover. You could grow everything in the same place because God made it perfect, totally balanced, and there are absolutely no issues. I'm just telling you, man, I love him. He's awesome. And I think of how hard you see science with the natural mind is trying to adjust pH, trying to adjust water for specific things. Well, God in his genius, awesome mind just covers all the bases and says, you can grow anything. Plant whatever you want because it meets all the requirements. It's just so huge. It's so like over the top awesome. I love it. Let's walk over here to my chicken pen. Now, for those of you who have ever been to a chicken pen, you know they have an odor. Chicken pens have odors. Anybody connecting? Yeah. I want you to clear your nasal passages real well and try to find an odor here.
Okay. Oh, chicken. They're looking out their little window there. No, that's far away.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, you say about this spread now.
But if you notice my greenhouse has no roof. Yeah. Can I tell you why greenhouses, anything growing in a greenhouse is totally deficient in any food value? Let me tell you about greenhouses, you guys, and for you older ones who were around in the 50s, let me connect your brain. Back in the 50s, skin cancer did not exist. No one anywhere had it. I lived in Los Angeles where we're all sunburned, we're getting major exposure to sun. Skin cancer, no one had it. Didn't exist. Because back in that day, everyone ate tomatoes were growing outside in full sun. They analyzed the sun-ripened tomato and they found 300 phytochemicals in the sun-ripened tomato. 300. And they explained how they work. Look at tomato skin. It's no thicker than yours. Thin skin. That tomato takes direct sunlight, 100 degrees plus, all day long, blasting on it, blazing on it, and its skin is totally smooth and gorgeous. No bumps, no blisters, nothing. It's gorgeous. It's a phytochemical in that tomato protects the skin from blistering. Today, skin cancer is rampant. Everyone has it because all tomatoes today are grown in greenhouses. They tested a greenhouse tomato. You know what they found? 50 phytochemicals. 250 were lost with light going through glass because it interrupts photosynthesis. You see, here's the arrogant insanity of the human mind. We think we can do it better than God. I can improve on God. I can do a greenhouse. No, you're not. You know what I get in my spirit? Tomatoes don't grow unless it's a hot climate. I can't grow tomatoes here, it's too cool. But I don't need protection from the sun because there's not that much. In hot climates where you need protection from the sun, tomatoes grow there because you need it. Something God showed me that really got my attention. Some guy, I get people call me all the time telling me that I need to do this. You got to eat grapes year-round. And he says, well, I can't grow them year-round. You got to have grapes. So I talked to God about this. I said, God, what's this about grapes? He told me something really interesting. He says, wherever you live, I have everything you need in that place for optimum health. And then he gave me an example of the Inuit Indians in Alaska. The Inuit Indians live on a piece of ground that is never anything but ice and snow. They don't ever have exposure to any dirt, so they can grow no vegetables, no fruit. They live their entire lives without any ground-grown fruits and vegetables. They get vegetables from the sea, nori and seaweed, and they eat whale, full of fat. And they live longer than we do, a lot healthier lives. And I got it. I got it. Wherever you live, everything you need is right there. And don't be importing stuff from someplace else that's totally dead thinking you got to have it. And you people buy tomatoes in January that are totally flavorless, totally nasty, hard to eat, and you think you're doing yourself good. Tomatoes a nightshade. You shouldn't eat it year-round. And there's no sun in January. Don't be eating tomatoes in January. Eat them when the time you're supposed to. January. You know when they get ripe in nature? In August, September, when the sun's the hottest. You think that's a coincidence? An accident? I'm just telling you, man. We got to wake up. We got to get it. There's a reason things happen when they do, where they do. I told you I'd give you a demonstration. Those of you who grow potatoes or heard about growing potatoes, potatoes is a pretty labor-intensive process. They till very deep, and they plant the potato quite deeply. And as it grows, they have to water a lot, and then they have to hill dirt over it because as the potato grows, it surfaces, and if you don't cover it, it turns yellow, green. And then if you plant potatoes in the same place every year, they get scabby. And the potato you harvest in September, and you plant in April. Can I show you an amazing demonstration? It's going to blow you away. These potatoes have been growing here for 26 years. 26 years. This is a small Swedish fingerling. I've never rotated. 26 years in the same place. And let me show you how simple and easy it is to plant and harvest the same day. Right there. Right under your feet is where I'm going to start. Now watch this. Now you see when you dig potatoes at your place, you get a fork, and when you dig into the ground, you poke holes in them and ruin them. So I get on which is very comfortable. Put my plant with my hands. I start moving. I start moving the wood chips, which is fun. And you can see how nice and damp this is under here. With my hand, you see what I'm doing? Just moving this.
Wow.
Now you want to. Now I want to show you something amazing. So I want you to get, because this is something that no one ever does. So you take your very biggest potato, and you plant back, and I cover the ground, and I just planted and harvested the same day in 5 minutes. And that is the full extent of my whole harvest, my whole potato experience. I don't water, I don't hill because the wood chips lift, wood chips hold it, and I'm done. For the whole season. That's it. Now you're starting to connect the dots with this easy yoke, light burden that Jesus is talking about. I'm telling you, man, it's awesome. Anybody? These are really good. These little fingerlings. You're welcome to them. Take them home. They're quite tasty.
Do you eat them all?
You can.
This is like a doggy bone for the dog. Every time you give the dog one of these.
Potatoes?
Oh yeah, dogs.
My dogs eat these all day
Dog
long.
loves these potatoes. I think he was going to give him a steak when he.
If you look at my dog, I mean, she's 14 years old. She has no gray. She's not limping. All my neighbors' dogs half her age are obese, full of tumors.
Wow.
My dogs eat everything out of my garden. They eat all my fruit, all my vegetables. They eat potatoes. You know what's so brain dead? They don't even teach you history in school. They teach you social studies. If you knew history, prior to the Industrial Revolution, no one fed their dogs dog food. They fed the dogs what they ate. All societies, all cultures have done that forever. And we think you got to feed dogs dog food.
It's like canned food. It's like canned food. It's all dead.
It's dead. It's dead. It's just,
Actually,
I'm telling you, it's just so pathetic how I don't get it.
It's wheat.